Have you ever been right on the edge of something great, but you didn't know it? Have you ever felt like giving up, not realizing that your breakthrough was just one more step away? You're not alone. Most men quit the race not because they're weak, but because they're tired, because they've been carrying the weight of invisible battles, because life has been throwing punches that no one else sees. But what if I told you this? You are closer to your success than you think, closer to peace, closer to purpose, closer to becoming the man you've always known you could be. The pressure you feel right now, it's not proof that you're failing, it's proof that you're being tested. And in every story worth telling, the test comes before the triumph. In this video, we're going to break down 4 powerful chapters that will remind you of who you are, what you're capable of, and why now is the worst time to quit. We'll talk about how to reclaim your goals, even if you've dropped them. We'll talk about the power of proving them wrong, not with your anger, but with your rise. We'll talk about rising again, stronger, wiser, and more relentless than before. You'll hear historical truths, bold encouragement, and deep, masculine guidance that lights a fire in your chest, because this isn't just another motivational video. This is a call to arms for every man who's been knocked down, doubted, discouraged, or left behind. This is your reminder. Don't quit now. You're closer than you think. Like this video, share it with a man who needs it. Subscribe for more real, powerful guidance, and drop a comment below. What's one reason you refuse to quit today? Chapter 1. Your goals still belong to you. Pick them back up. There's something sacred about a man's goals. They are not just ideas, they are visions, missions, silent promises he made to himself when nobody else believed in him. But life has a way of making those goals feel distant. Responsibilities pile up, failures sting, time slips. And slowly, without even realizing it, many men let their goals fall to the ground like broken tools left in a shed. But here's the truth, your goals still belong to you. Even if you've been distracted, even if you've fallen off course, even if you've failed more times than you can count, that goal, your dream, your purpose, still has your name on it. You don't need permission to return to it. You don't need applause to believe in it again. You only need ownership. Real men don't quit their goals. They reclaim them. Look at Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times while trying to invent the light bulb. People mocked him. They laughed. They called him insane. But he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He never stopped believing in the goal he had the courage to start. And eventually, he brought light to the world. How many men today would have quit at failure number 10, or 100, or 999? But Edison understood something most people forget. The goal is still alive if you still have the will to chase it. You may not be where you thought you'd be. You may not have the support you hoped for. But if the goal still speaks to your soul, it's not too late, not even close. And let's get something straight. It's not weakness to restart. It's strength. Weak men stay stuck in regret. Strong men pick up what they dropped, dust it off, and get back to work. Never confuse delay with defeat. A delayed dream is not a dead one. And just because you paused doesn't mean it's over. Some of the greatest stories in history were built on second chances. Men who rebuilt their lives after loss, fathers who stepped up after failure, warriors who returned to the battlefield with scars, but also with resolve. So if you're listening right now and thinking, "But I've wasted too much time," I want you to know something. There is no expiration date on purpose. If it was meant for you, it still is. Your goals are still yours. Go get them. Because the man who restarts with fire in his soul is often the one who finishes the race with power in his steps. Drop a comment below. I will reclaim my goals. Chapter 2. Prove them wrong, but do it with your rise, not your rage. Every man has been doubted. At some point in your life, someone looked at you and didn't believe in your potential. Maybe they said it out loud. Maybe they just smirked. Maybe they left when you needed them most because deep down, they didn't think you had it in you to win. And let's be honest, that kind of betrayal, it can light a fire in a man's chest. It can fuel anger, resentment, the desire to show them with words, arguments, and attitude. But I'll tell you this right now. The most powerful way to prove them wrong is to rise. Not to yell, not to beg, not to throw your pain at the world, but to rise, to move, to win. Quietly, relentlessly, and fully. Your results will do more damage than your rage ever could. There's a story of a young man in ancient Sparta. He was mocked by others in his training class because he was smaller, quieter, less aggressive. They called him weak. But what they didn't see was that while they were talking, he was training. While they were bragging, he was building. And when it came time for the battle trial, he didn't just outperform them, he shattered every expectation. His silence became his strength. His discipline became his roar. That's what I'm telling you right now. You don't need to defend your dream. You need to develop it. Every time someone doubts you, you have two choices. 1. Waste your energy on emotion. 2. Channel your energy into execution. Choose the second one, and you become unstoppable. Think about the lives of men like Nelson Mandela. He was wrongfully imprisoned for 27 years. His name was smeared. His cause was mocked. And still, he didn't fight his enemies with rage. He fought with character, strategy, and persistence. When he emerged from prison, the world had to reckon with a man who proved his doubters wrong not with insults, but with impact. You don't rise to prove your haters wrong. You rise because the truth of who you are demands to be seen. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them sleep on you. Because while they're busy watching your past, you're building your future. And when it hits them, it won't be your words that wake them up. It'll be the reality you've created. Success is the loudest silence a man can deliver. And when you rise from the ashes of their disbelief, they won't just be surprised, they'll be speechless. So don't waste your breath trying to convince anyone. Use your breath to keep moving forward, building, training, evolving. And remember this, you're not rising for revenge. You're rising for redemption, for the boy inside you who once believed, for the man you're becoming, for the future that's waiting. You don't owe them proof, but you owe yourself greatness. Drop a comment below. I'll prove them wrong by rising. Chapter 3. Rise again. Even if you've fallen hard, falling doesn't disqualify you, it doesn't define you, and it doesn't destroy your destiny unless you choose to stay down. Every great man you admire fell, hard, publicly, painfully. But the difference between them and the men who disappeared, they chose to rise again. You will fall, but you must rise. Because the truth is, rising after the fall is where real strength begins. History has proven this again and again. Take Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the greatest presidents in American history, he failed in business. He lost multiple elections. He suffered personal tragedy and deep depression. People told him to quit. His future looked finished. But Lincoln didn't rise in spite of his failures. He rose because of them. They forged him. They refined his resolve. They carved humility into his leadership. And when he stood at the helm of a broken nation, it was the pain of his past that gave him the backbone to lead. So let's be real. What's your excuse? Is it failure, shame, embarrassment, fear that people saw you lose and now you don't want to be seen again? Brother, listen. Every man who's ever done something worth doing has been humbled, and that humility becomes the fuel for a better rise. Think of it like this. When a warrior falls in battle, he doesn't question if he's still a soldier. He regathers his strength, he tightens his armor, and he returns to the front with a deeper hunger. Falling is not failure. Staying down is. Too many men confuse a hard moment with a hard life. They confuse a setback with a stop sign. But what you're in right now might not be the end. It might be the chapter where everything begins to change. Sometimes the fall is necessary to wake you up, to break your pride, to remind you of your values, to strip away distractions and get you focused again. And let's be clear, God has a pattern of using broken men to build powerful futures. Moses was a stutterer and a fugitive. David was an adulterer and a king who failed. Peter denied Jesus 3 times, but they all rose again, and their comebacks were greater than their mistakes. You don't have to rise with perfection. You just need to rise with purpose. You don't need to erase the past. You need to grow from it. And when you rise again, even after you've fallen hard, you become dangerous. Because the man who gets back up can no longer be controlled by fear. Let your scars remind you, not of shame, but of survival. You made it through what should have broken you. You're still breathing. You're still here. Now rise. Drop a comment below. I will rise again. Chapter 4. Win again. Because it's still in you. There's something you need to hear and believe. Winning is still in you. Even if you've been losing. Even if it's been years. Even if you can't see the evidence yet. The ability to win, to break through, to conquer, it's in your DNA, but here's the catch. You don't win by chance. You win by choice. You choose to show up. You choose to keep going. You choose to believe that your best days are ahead, not behind you. The most dangerous lie a man can believe is this: it's too late for me. That lie has stolen more dreams than failure ever did. But let me ask you, who told you it was too late? Who convinced you that you had missed your moment? Because history is full of men who found their victory after the world counted them out. Take Colonel Harland Sanders. Most people know him as the face of KFC, but what they don't know is that he was rejected over 1,000 times before anyone believed in his recipe. He didn't even launch his franchise until he was 65 years old. That's right, 65. He didn't retire into comfort. He started over in courage. Why? Because he still believed in the win. He believed in his purpose. He believed it was still in him. That's the spirit you need to tap into right now. Not the one that asks, what if I fail again? But the one that says, what if I win this time? You were made to win, but you have to move like it. Think like it. Fight like it. That doesn't mean winning will be easy. It means it will be worth it. It means some days you'll wake up exhausted. Some nights you'll doubt the plan. Some moments you'll want to walk away and tell yourself that average is good enough. But that's when you remember you weren't made for average. You were made for more. And you don't need to feel ready. You need to be relentless. Sometimes the only way to find your win is to walk back into the arena with your head high and your hands steady, knowing the odds are against you, but your heart is still in it. Because a man with nothing to prove and everything to live for is a dangerous force. He's not trying to impress. He's trying to finish what he started. He's not chasing applause. He's chasing purpose. And when you reach that place, or when you stop looking for validation and start trusting your own fire, you win, even before the results, even before the reward. Why? Because you refuse to quit. You refuse to shrink. You refuse to die with your dream still locked inside of you. So whatever your mountain is, climb it. Whatever your dream is, build it. Whatever your win looks like, go after it. Again, not because it's easy, but because it's still in you. Drop a comment below. I will win again. So wherever you are right now, in the middle of doubt, at the edge of giving up, feeling like your dream has slipped through your fingers, hear this clearly. You're closer to your success than you think. This is not the time to quit. This is the time to rise, reclaim, prove, and win. Your goals still belong to you. You don't need to convince anyone. Just keep building. If you've fallen, get back up. And if you've lost, remember, you can win again. Let your setbacks become the soil where your strength grows. Let your pain become the pressure that produces power. And let your story be the proof that real men don't give up. They get up. The world is watching. Your future is waiting. And your time is now. Like this video, if it lit a fire in your soul, share it with a man who needs to remember who he is. Subscribe for more deep, powerful truth that builds better men. And drop a comment below. What are you rising for today? Don't quit. You're closer than you think.